Hey, what's up everyone? It's George the Remote Seller here. Today I'm going to do a video tutorial on Keepa. We're basically going to use Keepa's plugin tool to analyze a few ASINs and to work out if they're good products to buy or not. Now, Keepa as a software, as a platform, is incredibly powerful, especially to online arbitrage and wholesale sellers. But not all the data points it provides are useful. A lot of them you can just ignore. There are, of course, some very important ones that you really need to focus on and look at, but some you can pretty much just ignore. Now, the only tools I'm going to be using in this tutorial is Keepa and Revseller. Now, I'm going to show you an alternative to Revseller. If you don't know it, there's some free, you can use the FBA calculator to work out your profit. But just for speed, I'm going to be using Revseller in this video just to make things a bit faster. Now, before I get into the video, I want you guys to join my Telegram group. You can have access to me and a bunch of other very experienced online arbitrage and wholesale sellers. The community is really starting to grow and we're really helping each other. And a lot of guys are achieving some awesome things in there. So join that. It's in the description below. All right, let's jump into it. Personally, I like to make myself a coffee and put on some music when I'm doing sourcing. It helps me get into a rhythm, get into the zone, make faster decisions, be more accurate and all that. So you can do the same if you like as well. These are the ASINs we're going to be going over in our example and Keepa tutorial. Here are their pricing. So we're going to actually try to make a good decision whether to buy these products or not, or if we should just ignore. The free tools that I mentioned earlier. So one of them is Jungle Scale Sales Estimator. Basically, all you really need to do is enter a sales rank. I tend to put an average sales rank, not the current sales rank in here. You choose your marketplace, the US, UK, or wherever, and then the category, beauty and personal care or health and household or whatever the category of the product that you're looking at is in, and it'll give you a monthly sales estimate of to how many units it sells. The next free tool that I'm going to show you, but I won't be using this tutorial, but I'm just showing you how to use it, is basically the revenue calculator. It's Amazon Seller Central's tool. You basically put your ASIN in here, the ASIN appears, you add your pricing, and then it gives you a breakdown of all the costs, the FBA fees, referral fees, and what your total profit will end up being. Okay, let's check out Keepa now. So let's jump to the first ASIN. Here's just a typical ASIN really. Just want to quickly tell you about Revseller. This is Revseller here. It loads as a plugin right below the product's title. The reason why I like Revseller so much is that you get a lot of instant data, and I like easy to see and instant data. So for example, this one, I know that there are 26 FBA sellers. I know there are 32 FBM sellers. Way too many sellers in my opinion. The buy box is right there. I can just quickly add my price. For example, let's say I get it at $6. I know that that's my profit, that's my ROI, and that's my margin. Further down here, I know that there are 4 sellers within the buy box price. So that means the buy box plus another 4 sellers, that's 5 sellers. And if I was to sell on this listing, I would become the 6th seller in this case. That's why I like Revseller so much as compared to its competitors. I like using Revseller because it's nice, fast, instant data. And I think it's only $100 a year, so it's quite cheap as well. Now let's scroll down to the Keepa chart and information. So Keepa inserts itself right below the product image and the bullet points. Now, this is what you look at when you look at Keepa. This is the historic chart. So this is the price history, but there are tabs here where you can scroll to and look at more piece information. So this is the most important data that you'll be looking at, and the biggest reason that you'll be using Keepa. Next one is the track product feature, where you can pretty much add a price here and receive notifications if there are certain price movements that you want to see. Not too important in my opinion. Next is the data section. So the data section is broken down to the product details, offers, buy box statistics, and buy box use statistics. This last one is pretty much useless because we're all selling brand new products. We're wholesale or online arbitrage sellers. We're not selling used products, so that one's not important. But these 3 are, and I'll show you in a moment. Next is just an affiliate link for Keepa. I'll place my one in the link below, in the description below if you want to use it. It's fine. Last one is the settings. So these are the settings I use. Feel free to pause the video right here and copy these settings for your own Keepa chart. Now let's jump back to the price history. Okay, so price history, this is what we see here. Now this one here, the first chart, very important. The second chart is pretty much useless. And the third chart is important again. So let's go over this first chart. Now I'm going to uncheck all the important features, but just so you know, these are the ones that you need to look out for. So the sales rank, buy box, Amazon, new third-party FBA, and new third-party FBM. Now let's uncheck all of these. Now, this is the sales rank. Now, why the sales rank is so important? We want to track the sales rank because the lower the rank goes, it means the more sale the product gets within its category. The higher it goes, the more sales. Amazon, basically what they do is every half an hour to an hour, they update their sales rank for every single product in the Amazon catalog. So every single Amazon product gets an updated rank. So we can actually use this updated number to track how well a product is selling. So the lower it goes, so the number one ranked product obviously sells a ton. If it's ranked a million, it probably doesn't get any sales. So we need to know this data so we can understand how many units a product might sell. The reason why Keepa giving it to us on this graph is so important is that we can track its history. So we can know, for example, back in November of last year, the product wasn't selling well, but in January it was selling very well. Okay, let's see why that is. Were there more sellers? Were there less sellers? There's a lot of different points of information that we can gather from looking at the BSR chart. The next very important piece of information is the buy box history. So this purple line here is the buy box. So we know what price the product has been selling at. The person who's been winning the buy box has been getting the buy box at that given price. Tracking its history really helps us because the ideal thing you want to do when you're looking at an ASIN, you want to find out what your break even is. And you want to make sure that historically, the buy box price has not dipped or dropped below your break even, because that means you'll be selling at a loss. Okay, so at least you look at its history, you might know roughly how a product might go in the future. Obviously, nothing is certain. A product might historically be forever above your break-even line, but when you buy it, it might drop below it. It happens. Now, the next piece of information that's very important is Amazon. So if Amazon is actually selling a product, it's signified in the Keepa chart with this orange shade. So we know that this product here, for example, has had quite a bit of Amazon, on the actual listing. But one nice thing that you can actually gather from Keepa is you can see if Amazon has been getting the buy box or other sellers have been getting the buy box. Now, for example, in this section here, if you look at this February to April section, we see that Amazon has been on the listing, but Amazon's price been all the way up at $34.99, whereas the actual buy box winner is is someone that's selling the product at roughly $27.89. So this shows you that normal sellers actually, normal third-party sellers can actually win the buy box off of Amazon for this particular listing. If Amazon was actually selling the product and winning the buy box, the purple line would be, over here, it would be up at the top where Amazon's current price is, just like in this area here where Amazon is selling the product for $19.99, and that's the actual buy box winner. So that's why looking at Amazon is very important, because if they're not showing the buy box, you're not making any sales. The next one is new third-party FBM and new third-party FBA. So I'm gonna just quickly take off the other one so you can see these a bit clearer. So I'm gonna click on new third-party FBA, which is signified with the orange triangle. And basically when you hover over that, you can see what the lowest price for an FBA seller is. And the same for the FBM seller, but instead of an orange triangle, it's a blue square. So you can see the lowest FBM price by scrolling over this. Now, a smart thing that you can do at this point is you can apply the third-party FBA, Amazon, and the buy box. Now, we can use the historic graph and these points of data to understand a lot of things about who is winning the buy box off of which type of seller. So let's go earlier in this buy box chart, and we can see at this point here, new third-party FBM, $20.40. New third-party FBA, $18.27. That's more than $2 lower than the FBM seller. Then we also have Amazon as a seller at $19.99. Regardless of the situation and the lower prices, Amazon in this point is winning the buy box. So we can know that if we have to price at $19.99 in this type of scenario, we won't be winning the buy box. Now let's go over to a different point of this historic chart. Let's go over to, let's say, this point there. Now here we have different points of data. We have third-party FBM at $26.06. Third-party FBA at $27.84, almost $2 above the FBM seller. And we have Amazon all the way up at $36 in this case. And regardless of the situation, what we see here is Amazon is giving up the buy box and it's giving it to the FBA seller. So the FBA seller is winning the buy box off of Amazon, which is priced way above. We're winning also, the FBA seller is also winning the price above the FBM seller, which is almost $2 below. So that's why, I say 9 times out of 10, an FBA seller will beat an FBM seller even if they're priced higher. There are only certain scenarios where FBM sellers sell more than FBA sellers on average. That's, in like during the pandemic where there were warehouse issues, or during certain times, in very high traffic times like Q4 where the products aren't coming in fast enough and there are warehouse and fulfillment center issues that slow things down. Sometimes FBM sellers get promoted a bit more above FBA sellers in those scenarios. But basically what you can use these points of data is you can ascertain who's winning the buy box and why. Now, why understanding the buy box is so important? Because what you want to do on every single listing that you're going to sell, you want to work out your break even, okay? And you want to draw a mental line on the buy box chart where your break even is. And you want to really understand and know that the buy box price is always above, the historic buy box price is always above your break even. Because if the historic buy box price is always below your break even, it means you're going to be making a loss. So you want to average a profit, of course, and not a loss. So you can use all this data that you see over here to understand if historically you'd be making a profit on this product. Because if you're making historically a profit on this product, there's very high likelihood that you'll make a profit on this product in the future as well. But of course, you won't know that until you try selling it. Now, like I said earlier, the track product feature is not that important. Let's jump over to the data section. This is the data section over here, the product details. So it has some nice points of information here. One thing I like to look at is the bought in the past month section. So it tells us roughly how many units Keepa estimates that this product is sold in the last month. Now, we can also test this using Jungle Scout Sales Estimator. Now, this is the current rank of the product, 42,909. It's a lot lower than the historic rank. So historically, this product in the last 30 days has been 66,000. Last 60 days, roughly again 66,000, and the last 9 days 68,000. So even though the product has sold well in the last at the moment, the last 30 days and not 60 days and 9 days shows us that the rank isn't 42,000. The average rank is more like 65, 66,000. So that's pretty much a more accurate number to go off. So we have 100 here. If we were to go over to Jungle Scout Sales Estimator and put in, let's say, roughly 65, 66,000. Choose the marketplace, it's United States, and the category is toys and video games. We will get 120 sales. So that's kind of in line with the Keepa chart. Now, I suggest you look at both to get an understanding, because sometimes there's a huge discrepancy between the bought in the past on the Keepa chart and the sales estimator that Jungle Scout gives you. But I suggest you do a mixture of both to get an understanding of what's realistic in each case. Now, next is the offers section. So here it tells you who's selling the product at the moment. If you want to see historical offers, just click on include historical offers and you can see past sellers, way back into the past. But you can also see how many units of stock they have. For example, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3. And you can just scroll down and see everyone's stock. Now, just a little, what I'm getting from this listing in particular is a lot of sellers with 2, 3, 4 units of stock. That means that there are a lot of online arbitrage sellers on this listing, in my opinion. Whenever there are sellers with very few units, they're usually online arbitrage sellers. Wholesale sellers usually get more units of stock. For example, this person here has 23. If you go a bit further down, you probably see it. No, there's someone here with 48 units, another person with 100 units. They're more likely to be wholesale sellers. So you can get an understanding of that, because even though there are a lot of sellers on this ASIN, they'll probably be in and out straight away. So that's another thing that you can get from looking at the offers. Now, lastly, we have the buy box statistics section. So this is what it is. A lot of people treat this section very seriously. I don't think it's that important, and I'll tell you why. What they look at is the buy box 1 percentage. So they say this person, Crossfire, for example, has 47% of the buy box. Mr. Cool Finds have 17%, and so forth. That means I won't be able to share the buy box with someone. They have so much as a large share of the buy box. But this simply isn't true. What it doesn't consider is the stock level and at what point they got into the listing at. So, for example, Crossfire got into the listing. Let's say, for example, Crossfire jumped onto the listing. They had 200 units of stock, and you jumped onto the listing at the exact same time as Crossfire jumped in, and you only had 50 units. So 50 units compared to 200 units. For the first week or so, you might be getting the buy box 50-50 with Crossfire, and you'll be selling out, and you've sold out the whole, all your products. Crossfire still has 150 units of stock. Okay, by the time a month is gone, 30 days have gone, they will of course have a much larger percentage over you because you sold out, you're done. But while you're both in stock, you may have been selling at the same rate. It's something that it doesn't consider, and you can't consider looking at this information. So it doesn't mean that you can't compete against someone that appears to have a higher number in this section here. You may very well be able to compete with them. Now, of course, if everyone has the same amount of stock, there's a higher chance that the seller with more ratings and better reviews will get more sales than someone that doesn't. But if a BSR, is low and the product sells well, you'll get the sales. Don't be worried about this number too much. Okay, so let's now find some ASINs to buy. Our first one is $8.50. That's how much we sourced this product for. So only $1.01 worth of profit. Very low in my opinion. I wouldn't go ahead with this, but let's just look at it further and see some more information. Firstly, I think it's very important to calculate our break even. So if $1.01 is our profit at $20.99, let's work out what our break even is. It will be a bit more than $1.10 off. So let's go to $19 and let's say 90 cents. No, it's more than that. Let's go to $19.80. Okay, so $19.80 is our break even. Scroll down to our chart and see how many times historically in the last year or so this price has dipped below $19.80. So all this period here seems quite safe. I see the product is above $21, $22. In this period here of October last year, it dipped below $19.80 quite a few times, but it doesn't happen too often. So I think it's okay. It's kind of safe to look at it a bit further, but like I said, the profit is quite low. So for that reason, I would probably discard it, but let's just keep going now. Now let's go to the data section. Now, Keepa is telling us that 100 were sold in the last month. According to Jungle Scout, we estimated that roughly 120 units sold monthly. So let's go in between those. Say that the units that this ASIN sell is roughly 110. So let's say it's 110 units. Let's work out the profit again. I think it was roughly $1, and I think if I remember correctly, it was $1.01. So at $20.99. It's $1.01, and our competitors are 4 plus the buy box 5 plus us. That makes us 6. Okay, so our profit is $1.01, and there will be 5 competitive sellers, but we're working out what our share would be. So it will be the 6th seller. So just type in 6 there. So that's roughly 18 or 18.3 sales per month. Very low amount of sales. That will cost us $155 to buy and only $18.52 in total profit. Not worth it in my opinion. Let's go to the next ASIN. So we have this product here. It's a 2-pack. It costs us $12 to source, so $12 right there. There's a nice amount of profit right there, $5.72 worth of profit. Let's just pop that in right here, $5.72. Just jump back to this ASIN. Now, there is no one in the buy box at the moment. That's a very important piece of information in terms of calculating how many sellers there are, and you're not too sure where the buy box is given, but it doesn't mean that there aren't sales being given. As you can see, there's a 90,000 BSR, there's a fair amount of sales, and it has been ranked 28,000 in the past, so we're going to have to check that out a bit further. First things first, let's calculate our break even. So we have $5.72 worth of profit at $27, so roughly $20.80 or so will be our break even at $20.55. All right, $20.56 is our break even in this case. Let's go to our Keepa chart and see how many times this product has dipped below the break even. So you see the price here is historically at around that $26, $27, $28 mark. It has not dropped one time below our break even in historically in the last year. So this is a very safe product to buy in terms of break even strength. Let's go to the data section. Keepa tells us this product sells 500 units a month, even though there is no one in the buy box. That's very strong data right there. Let's take a look at the BSR and also compare this 500 plus number to Jungle Scout. So the current rank at the moment is 90,183. That's very high, a lot higher than what's been going on historically. So it's some very strange things, because we see a historic 30-day, 90-day chart at 31,000 and 41,000. But the current rank is all the way up at 90,183, which is very, very high. Now, if we were to consider these numbers, 41,000 as a sales estimate, that would mean a lot of sales. So it's 41,000, and if I remember correctly, it's a beauty product. Yes, beauty. So let's put beauty in here. Oh, it's a USA, but beauty right there. Beauty, and estimate that. So we've got 360. If we were to use the 33,000 number that we saw earlier, 31,000 roughly, it would be a lot higher, probably be above 500 as Jungle Scout estimated. So let's say that. So 540 sales. So they seem in line in this case. Now let's go take another look at the Keepa chart and try to understand why this product is not getting as many sales in the last month or so. So I'm just going to pop up the sales rank just there. So you can see that the sales rank is skyrocketing up here. Okay, let's zoom in on this period here. So even though the price hasn't changed, no one has been winning the buy box. So that's a very interesting point of data. Now, usually no one gets the buy box because Amazon deems that the price is too high sometimes for them to be considered in the buy box. But in this current listing, we see something strange. We see that Amazon is not giving anyone the buy box, even though the price has remained the same. So the only way I can make sense of this is that Amazon has seen this product's cost in other marketplaces and has deemed, like other marketplaces as in other third-party platforms or other online areas away from Amazon, and Amazon has deemed that this price is too expensive and it doesn't want it to promote it to its buyers. That's the only other explanation for this product not getting up to the buy box, even though the price has not changed over the last year. So that could be one of the reasons why the buy box has increased. So me personally now, in this case, given that the buy box, no one's getting the buy box over the last month or so, I would say to not consider the 30,000 BSR as a good estimate. I would actually go all the way to maybe 80 or 90,000. So I would say 80,000 is a more accurate number to consider. So that would be 150 sales. That's how many I believe this product will be selling from now forth until the buy box is won again. So I'm going to say 150 sales per month. And let's check out how many competitive sellers there are. Let's actually consider their pricing. So there are probably three sellers with the lowest FBA price. So let's check out the offers. And only FBA. So 28.22. So they're all 28.22. So that's three sellers. So that means if we jump on, we'll be the fourth seller. So type in the number 4 right there and check out this data. So we have 37.5 sales per month, or let's just say 37. It will cost us $450 to source those products. And I'll just say 37 here. So $444 to source, and it will leave us with $211 worth of profit. This is a good one. I reckon if you're getting more than $200 worth of profit monthly, it's something that you should be considering. So this one I'd definitely consider. Let's jump up to the next one. This one is, we sourced this one at $4.90. So it has only 82 cents worth of profit. Based on that, I'll pretty much would discount this product and not consider it. But let's look into it a bit further. The break even will probably be roughly $11 or just under $11. So $10.96. Okay, so $10.96. This is not a good product to buy. So historically it's been way below our break even. So this is definitely not a product you want to buy. If you were going to buy it, you'd be making a very big mistake. But let's just indulge it for a moment and consider it and see how things would go. So let's look at the last month or so. It's been all the way down to $9.99. I would consider that a baseline. So I'd use $9.99 here. Basically, we'll have a 1 cent loss in this case at $9.99. Let's just type in 0.1. Actually, there's no point in even looking at this product. Let's just move on. Just going to mark it with a red mark here. And let's go to the fourth ASIN. So this one here is, we sourced this one at $22.50. So $22.50. It comes to $11.88. 53% ROI, very nice numbers. Quite a few sellers here. There are 13 FBA sellers, 16 FBM sellers, 5 that are within competitive, within 3%. So I'll say that's 6 competitors plus us 7. So let's go ahead and jot these numbers down. So we have $11.88, and we said there were 5, 6, and us 7. So there are 7 sellers. Okay, let's go ahead and check out some of the other numbers then. Let's first work out our break even. So let's take off $12 from the actual current sale price. So $46 minus 12, that means 34. Okay, say 33, 32.87. Okay, so $32.87 is our break even. Scroll down. How many times has this product dropped below $32.87? There's a low point right there. That's okay. So it's a FBM seller at 30. Let's just find it again. 30. Let's just zoom in on it. Okay, so it's right there. It's Pharma Packs, which is a huge seller, but they've kind of gone out of business now, if I remember correctly. So $34.57, but an FBM seller. Let's go back to the year. There's been a period over here where the price dropped down to $38.20. We're still quite safe in terms of our break-even strength. So I would say in terms of our price and the amount of profit, we're safe. This would be a product that you could consider. The amount of sellers has gone quite a bit higher than usual. It's all the way up to 30 plus sellers. Historically, that is quite a high number. But I still think there is room to look at it. So let's see how many, let's see the sales data. So head over to data. Okay, 1,000 plus. Now, this isn't part of a variation set. So we're going to talk about variation sets in a moment, but it is not part of a variation set. So it says 1,000 units per month. That is a high number, and it's justified because I can see the sales rank. It's currently at 8,197 sales, 8,197 BSR. And historically, it's at around that 10 or 11,000 mark, which is a very high amount of sales. Let's jot down 10,000 sales in Jungle Scout Sales Estimator. Pretty sure it was Beauty. Yep, Beauty. So 1,890 sales. So there is quite a big discrepancy between the two numbers. 1,000 plus for Keepa, 1,900 for Jungle Scout Sales Estimator. I'm inclined, because I have experience with this, I believe that Jungle Scout is more accurate in this case. It's a lot more than 1,000 plus. But just for this example, I'm going to go in the middle and say that this product sells at roughly, let's say, 1,450 units per month. Okay, so I'm going to come here and I say 1,450 units per month. So if we're to buy this product, we'll probably need to buy 207 products per month. It would cost us $4,605, and we'll make almost $2,500 worth of profit. But let's take a bit of a deeper look into this product and check out its some of the offers and how many people are actually offering this product. Now, you can check out the stock people have by going here, but another faster way to do it is by just clicking on either here, new from 29, or if you have Revseller, you can just click on this number right there, and then it will bring up all the FBA sellers on this product. And then Keepa loads the stock levels for each seller. Very nifty, very handy stuff. So we can see that this seller has 55 units, 2 units, 180 units. You can basically see how many units each seller has and make a bit of a guess or estimation of how many, how hard it would be to impose yourself into this listing. good to know. But given that this product, has roughly 1,500 sales per month, I would say that you're pretty safe. You'll be getting the buy box at some point, regardless, with no issues there. This is a good product to buy. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so we have a variation here. All right, cool. This product we sourced at $8.50. So $8.50, $4.62 worth of profit. That's nice. That's some good numbers. It's a 3-pack. Let's now calculate our break even. So if we have $4.62 worth of profit at $19.99, let's just take off roughly $5 from that and go to, let's say, $14.99. Okay, there's still 37 cents profit at $14.99. Let's go to $14.50. Okay, so $14.56. $14.55 is our break even. Let's see how many times historically the price has dropped below $14.55. Okay, there haven't been any cases where the product's dropped below $14.55. So in terms of pricing, we're kind of safe. So let's go back up, put this at $19.99. So we have on this product $4.62 worth of profit. There are 53 sellers. That is a lot of sellers. That's not something that's pretty. 53 is a lot of sellers. Now, only 4 are within buy box range. So 4 plus us, that means 5. So let's go ahead and say 5 competitive sellers, 5 sellers for this listing. Now let's look at the sales numbers. So if we go to data, Keepa thinks this product sells 50 units a month, and that does consider the variations. If we go over to Jungle Scout though, we have these numbers here to look at, 14,000 and 20,000, all these numbers. So let's just average that out to around 16,000. The product is in arts and crafts, so save that. So 270 sales per month. Now, of course, it's a variation, so we do have to consider the fact that it's a variation. Now, 270 sales per month. The variation we're looking at is this one here, the 3-pack. This is the ace in there, so it only gets 4% of the sales. So it gets 4% of all the reviews, so hence most likely 4% of the sales. So 270 times 0.04, that brings us to only 10.8 or 11 sales per month. Very low. Now, I'm a bit more inclined to trust Jungle Scout on this estimate, but let's again average the two out and say the product sells roughly 30 sales per month. Okay, so at 30 sales per month, given that there are 5 competitive sellers, our share of sales probably only be around 6 sales per month. That means $52 is our COGS and $27 is our profit. Again, not really worth us wasting our time on unless you're happy to make $27 profit from an entire product line. I would consider it, and the main reason why I would not consider it is that there are 53 sellers selling the product. They can drop the price at any time, and the product, even in the best case scenario, only sells 50 units a month. In the worst case scenario, it sells maybe 10 units a month. It's really not a good product to look at. I think that these sellers here were confused when they bought this product, or they may have found some deal they thought that was too good to be true, and then all of a sudden 53 sellers, probably 0 sales or year or month. It just takes forever for these products to sell out. I reckon it's a bad product to buy. I would not buy this product by any means. So the last product in our list, another variation. So let's see our price. We can source this product at $11.50. Now, again, we have no one in the buy box for this product. So we have $22.75. One person is being considered. The other sellers are not close to the lowest FBA seller, so they're not being considered as competition. So we've only really got one competitor in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and type the one competitor right there. Our profit is $4.62. Oh, both of them have $4.62 profit. That's a bit weird. Wow. What are the chances? So $4.62 is our profit on this ASIN as well. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the stats. first, let's work out our break even. So it might be around $19, 1930, 1932. Oh, sorry, 1732. So how many times has the product dipped below $17.32? So there are some low patches here at $13.99. So yeah, that dipped quite low there. And here it's dipped to $13 and $14. So the break-even data is not that good. The strength of our break-even is a bit low in this case. You know, there are many times where it's sold below, but there's quite a few times where it's dipped below our break-even. For the most part, on average, it's above the break-even line, but there are some times where it's been below. So I would give it a low rank in that sense, given that it drops quite low sometimes. Let's check out some of the other data points. Let's go and see how many units Keepa tells us it sells per month. So Keepa thinks that it sells roughly 50 plus. Let's go and check out Jungle Scout. So Jungle Scout, we have 33,000 as an average BSR. I think that'll be an accurate number to use. So 33,000 in periods here. 480 sales, but it is a variation, of course, so we have to work out what percentage of the reviews this product gets compared to the other units in the variation set. So let's find this ASIN, this one here, and it gets 23% of those 480 sales. So 480 sales times 0.23, that's roughly 110 sales per month. Now, Keepa said that this product sells 50 plus. Jungle Scout gives us roughly 110 units as an estimate. Let's go ahead and average those two numbers out and say it sells roughly 75 units per month. Okay, so in terms of these numbers here, they are attractive. You know, we can buy 75 units a month, $346 worth of profit. The ones that I wouldn't consider out of this lot is this one is a question mark. You've got to really just consider how many times the product has dropped below your break even to understand if it's a good product to buy or not. This one here, I remember correctly, the profit was just way too low. This one here, in my opinion, the profit is way too low to even consider. But the other ones are good products to buy, in my opinion. So wouldn't consider. This one here is a question mark. But overall, this is what the order would look like. $5,953 in terms of COGS and $3,045 in terms of profit. The ROI would be this divided by that as a percentage. So 51.15% ROI. Decent numbers in my opinion. These are definitely products I'll look at. So those are some of the most important data points you should be looking for when using Keepa and when selling in Amazon in general. Now, important to note, repetition is key. The more you do it, the more often you do it, the faster and more accurate you'll become. You know, you'll be seeing an ASIN and initially right off the bat, you'll know it's a crappy ASIN, or you know, you might see some good data points and you'll know to look at it further and if it's a good good product to purchase or not. So yeah, like I said, repetition is key for anything really. Now, if you have any questions for me, leave in the comments below or just join the Telegram group and ask me directly, or you can ask one of the other members there. They can definitely help you out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.